Yeah, go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Wow, that's good. Very good. Okay, go ahead and do number 8.
8. Responses and insights in transmission and translation. There was the transmission from India to China, and now there is the transmission from China to America. In the future, there will be a further transmission from America to India. Yeah, we read this part too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You want me to reread it or just jump to the next
Let's
paragraph?
come to the next one.
Okay. They lacked that talent, but most of them were good at eating. Yeah, we read that. And then one believed, okay. The reason Buddhism flourished in China was that all of those patriarchs who came from India to China were intelligent and had wisdom and spiritual penetrations. So when people saw them, they had genuine faith in them. As a result, great vehicle Buddha Dharma flourished on a large scale in China. Similar factors were involved in conversions to Catholicism. People would observe, the Catholics have started schools and the priests and nuns do everything very well. They are conscientious and what they say is reasonable. Once the students heard that, they felt Catholicism is not bad, let's believe in it and get baptized. One person influences another. The circumstances surrounding people at a given time, along with the causes and conditions, influence them, and so they believe. If you make a bad impression on people, then they will not believe.
So what do we understand here?
Yeah, that discussing the causes and conditions for people to believe in something. Master Swanhua is pointing out why Buddhism began to diminish in India and to grow in China, and that it is the behavior of the individuals representing Buddhism. And that could happen with any religion. If they have, appropriate behavior and composure and the way they speak and what they say, then, certain people will begin to believe.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The reason then that great vehicle Buddhism is not flourishing in India at present is that all of the patriarchs with talent, virtue, and spiritual penetrations ran off to China. Right now, the people of India only have Brahmanism, only yoga, which merely deals with superficial matters. They completely lack genuine inconceivable principles and inconceivable states. Not only do they lack them, they do not even believe in them. That is an example of something created from causes, conditions, and circumstances. That is why I predict that after Buddhism has been transmitted to America, America will in turn transmit it to India. Isn't that just a cycle? America transmits it to England, France, Germany, and afterwards it comes back to India. The Indians exclaim, Buddhism is so fine, and they all believe again, thus completing the cycle. In fact, everything has a cyclical nature. That explains transmission. Right, so this is the explanation on the 8th door, which is the transmission, responses and insights in transmission and translation. So explaining this process of transmission, like from India to China, from China to America, and then America back, to India, how the teaching can be spread from one person to the next, and how that happens. And he highlighted it happens through the representatives, be they monks, nuns, or lay people. In this case, he was talking about monks and nuns. They compose themselves well so that they reflect well upon the religion.
Yeah. So the translation is a written one, but how about transmission? Is that?
Oh, transmission. I think, generally, yeah, transmission would be verbal. Well, or could, someone could read and then also read commentaries. But I think maybe Maybe transmission could happen through reading or through hearing. Probably better to hear, to be there with the master, so you can truly make sure you understand it.
You know the Zen transmission?
Yeah, the
Or the Zen transmission?
mind seal, the
The
mind.
mind seal, right?
Yeah.
The mind seal, can we copy it?
No, no,
Can we replicate it?
no. Can't make him. Yeah, he can't do that.
So important transmission.
Okay, so we're talking like full-on transmission of the actual full Dharma, not like someone just learning a bit of something, but the full thing.
Right? So transmission is very important, right? In order for the Dharma to be survive, to stay in the world for a long time, the transmission is the most important. Translation, yeah, people can read it, but it doesn't mean it transmits, right? It not mean it transmitted. So it's interesting. And you know that the Bodhidharma, right? He came to China. He do the transmission. Only a few disciples, right? But from the few disciples, they transmitted to the entire China in the great scale, right? And we also talk about the Lotus Sutra, the chapter 15, the Bodhisattva emerged from the earth, right? That means the foreigner like us, we came to America and we try to well, do the translation as well. We try to transmit it with the one who have affinity, right? So they be able to practice the Dharma, but we cannot do it in the large scale because the language barrier and the culture barrier, right? So the only local people here, just like you, will be the one who really have the direct impact on the large scale. If later on you become a monk.
Yeah, maybe eventually. Probably be years out though.
Okay, but anyway, so that makes sense, right? Importantly, so people locally, it's the most important, not the foreigner, like us.
Okay.
Hello, Tammy. How are you?
Good.
Everything okay for you?
Yes.
Good. That's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. All right. So let's go to here, and we are learning about the Dormant Cloud Sutra. Oh, this is your screen. I thought my screen. I
Oh yeah. Okay.
I tried to scroll down. It doesn't work.
Do you want me to keep reading?
Yeah, keep reading.
Okay. This door also considers translation. To begin with, the sutras were in the language of India. Then they were translated to Chinese. And now they're being translated to English. Responses are events that take place and are also inconceivable kinds of states. Insights are as when, for example, some of the Dharma masters who came from India to China did not understand Chinese and yet experienced a kind of responsive insight. So translation's pretty straightforward about from one language to the next. Responses are these, because that's in the title of the eighth door, responses and insights to, responses and insights in transmission and translation. So responses, events that take place and are also inconceivable states. So I'm assuming that's in response to hearing the Dharma, to hearing like how people respond to the Dharma or events that occur that happen when it's preached, like we talked about in the beginning, where it's there's like an earthquake when was it Master and Ching Liang preached it. So that I think that would be
That is the event. That is the event.
yeah.
But the responsive inside, you know what does that mean?
Responses, just from what it says here. So what does it mean?
It's, well, that means it's when you practice the Dhamma, right? Well, the response inside, that means I think it's the result. It's the some kind of experience that will lead to the attainment.
Kind of like confirmation that you're practicing correctly, like certain sort of events that
For
occur.
example, the fourth state of Arahat, right? The initial Arahat, the second, the third, and fourth. Those is the responsive insight, don't you think? That insight, right?
Yeah, insight. In those states, I think certainly, yeah, insight is part of those states.
Yeah, it's not the external, right? That's through your practice. So there a boy that he asked me that how should we have a good faith into Buddhism? Then how you respond?
Like, how do we develop a good faith?
No. How do we have a good strong faith in Buddhism?
Okay, yeah. How do we like basically rid ourselves of doubt? Well, I think that through practice, because we have to demonstrate the teachings.
But all of he said that all the religion also said that well, their teaching is also good too. And how do we distinguish from Buddhism to with other religion?
Well, there's the four Dharma seals. I'd say that's a really good place to start.
Well, I told him that the Buddhism is not the religion. It's just like the science of the mind. Just like the philosophy of life. It the Dharma. It's just like the medicine to the sickness and the mind of the sickness of the mind. So basically the Buddha teaching is just like the medicine. And if we depend on your sickness and the right medication will work, right? So that how is it? And the four noble truth. The first noble truth is the truth of suffering. The second one is the true cause of suffering. So basically, the cause of suffering is the rich and the ignorant. And the third one is end of suffering. That means remove the rich and remove the ignorant. That means remove the I. All you have left is nirvana. That means the ultimate bliss. And how do we practice that? And that means through the Eight Noble Path, right? So basically, step by step. And all this method here is just like you have the medication and you have to follow the instruction to take the medication. And how do we know that the Buddhism it give us a lot of benefit through our more than 2,500 years ago, right? Through that, since the Buddha all the way now to now, well, there's people attend certain states of Arahat, right? And they be able to see the benefit, just like the Buddha teaching. That means the Buddha teaching it really give them benefit. So if we, according to the Buddha teaching, we be able to get to the level that the Buddha teaching teach. Right? And well, so the Buddhist teaching is just a medication. If you know you have a problem, you just take the medication. That's all. Okay. So that will help us. That means that will help us to have the responsive insight. And that's where the faith you will have a strong development of the faith, right? And that's how your faith becomes very strong. And I told him that go to the YouTube and you type in Kamala Sutta. Did you remember the Kamala Sutta? Kamala Sutta?
Yeah.
The Buddha said that whatever you hear, even from the teacher or from the tradition, from the rumor or from the multitude, right? Propaganda, whatever, from the Buddha or from the religious teacher, do not believe in them right away. But see if the teaching is really benefit, have no harm to other, yeah, go ahead and take it. If the teaching have harm and no benefit, then do not follow. That's the Buddha teaching in the Kamala Sutta. And the reason why that Sutta, what were the conditions? You remember what were the conditions for that Sutta to be were taught by the Buddha? What were the reason?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, because there is a village, right, called Kamala. And the people there, a lot of religious leaders from different religions, they came over and they said that my teaching is the best. So every one of them said, mine the best. So when they saw the Buddha came, and they also asked, if each one of the religious leaders said that their teaching is the best, so which one, how do we know which one is best? And that's why the Buddha spoke the Kamala Sutta. So yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, the same thing. That's the same thing. That the boy asked me. Okay, go ahead and do the.
There was a mutual sealing of the mind from one to another, so they understood without being taught. For instance, there might be a phrase they didn't know how to translate well into Chinese, and the Chinese, being very intelligent, would say, probably it should be translated such and such a way. The Indians, who did not understand Chinese, would hear this and exclaim, wonderful, that's it. Use that phrase. That's how the transmission and translation took place. A great many potentially difficult problems are resolved with no problem at all. If people are extremely sincere when translating sutras, they come to understand principles they were unable to understand and can translate what they were unable to translate. So he's saying there's a little bit of a sort of kind of like almost like a bit of magic to when it comes to translating sutras with a sincere mind. And with in this scenario where there's the Indian master who doesn't know Chinese as well as the Chinese, but that there's a sort of naturalness to the process, and that it ends up being easier than one might think because of it seems to be sort of like a grace of the Buddha Dharma.
So when we have a single mind, sincere, right, then everything could be overcome. And the translation, there's certain difficulty of translation. some of the Sanskrit word or terminology. Right? It's not easy translated into Chinese because one word could have multiple definitions. So for those situations, they keep the Sanskrit word. They don't translate it. And that is so there are certain rules for the translator when they do the translation. So they follow that rule.
They're at the beginning of all of the City of 10,000 Sutra, all the City of 10,000 Buddha Sutras.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's correct. Okay, Tammy, you want to read the next one? Moreover.
Moreover, all kinds of responses and spiritual penetrations manifest. For example, Dharma Master Husan Chung brought back the 600 Pascal Mahayana Prana Parameter Sutra from India. While the sutra was being translated, the peach trees blossomed 6 times in 1 year. Think it over. If you used scientific methods and gave the peach trees injections or doused them with fertilizer, they still wouldn't bloom 6 times in a single year. Yet that year, the peach trees blossomed every 2 months. One set of blossoms would fall off and another set would come into flower. This event shows how inconceivable the state of the 6 parameters of the Mahaprana Parameter Sutra is.
Okay, what do we understand here, Tammy?
Just how powerful the sutra, the Prana Parameter Sutra was, that it basically created miracles.
The peach tree, usually they have only one blossom each year, right? But this one they have 6 times in a year. What do you think, William?
Yeah, I mean that's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Even the scientific scientists using the scientific method try to visualize it. I don't think they can be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's wonderful. And you know the Mahaparana Paramita, that means the Heart Sutra. But the big volume, the very big set of volume, they have 600 of this. And when translated into Vietnamese, it's about 20 book. No, 24 book. Thick, just like the Adornment Flower Sutra.
Wow.
No, I mean, in the Adornment Flower Sutra, they have 4 big book. And that means they have 24 big books like that.
Wow.
And this sutra is very tough to understand because the wisdom of emptiness. Right? This is yeah. And you remember Master Santon, the one that who walked to India and to read what would you call intrigue, right? The Mahayana Sutra from the India, and so he bring with him a lot of sutra, not only 600 of this thing, a lot different kind of sutra. This is only one type of sutra, and that's why a lot of Mahayana Sutra came from due to his and you know what, in the Buddhist history, no one can compare to him for this kind of mission that he devoted himself. I think he traveled to India, and when he come back, I think at about 19 years. And the one who met the three-car patriarch. You remember the story of the three-car?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, Master Swantra is the one who was his teacher, or the one who
Yeah.
who
He
found him in the meditating and then told him he had to basically get a new body.
Yeah, that's right. He actually the three-car patriarch is his student later on. Right? Mm. It's wonderful, huh? That means the birth and death for the Bodhisattva is no problem. They come and they go as they will, but we cannot do that. Okay. All right, William.
You may say, well, we've been translating sutras for a long time and we have yet to see any responses. Actually, there have been many responses. It's just that you have not felt them. That San Francisco has had no earthquakes is due to the merit and virtue of your present work of translating sutras. It makes the earth spirit protect this spot of earth and command it. You can't dump all these Dharma masters and others who are translating sutras into the ocean. Don't quake. This place should be as solid as steel or vajra. It mustn't quake for a second, at least not before the translation of sutra is completed. However, you are unaware of this response, and when I tell you about it, you still do not believe it. That is why I prefer not to talk about this kind of thing. It's only because we have come to the 8th door, responses and insights in transmission and translation, that I'm willing to bring it up at all. Whether you believe or not is up to you. So, yeah, here in this paragraph, Master Swanhua is like responding
You
to
can
the thoughts that
read the small one.
respond. Someone is having a false thought saying, do you know for certain that San Francisco is due to have an earthquake? Well, do you know for certain that it is not due to have an earthquake? Do you know for certain that it will not quake? So people would say Master Swanhua could read people's minds.
Yeah.
I know Tai says that like the students would always be scared to be close to him because they knew that he could tell what they were thinking. And so here he's like responding to the thoughts of people in the assembly to, he wants to share something like, yes, these responses are occurring, but you haven't noticed them. But he's also sensitive to the fact that people still won't believe him because, it's you can recognize. I could say like, okay, I have a, this thing in my hand here. This keeps away tigers, and there's no tigers around, so it's there you go. But it's a little different in San Francisco because they regularly have earthquakes. So if there is a prolonged period of time without earthquakes, then it's a little more unusual. It's not unusual to not have tigers in Indiana, obviously.
Actually, right now, nowadays, scientists, they say that California, they say that I think it's every 150 years, they will have a very big quake, right? Earthquake. And right now, the line for quaking, they run from north to south of the California. If and it's already past 150 years already. And it could happen at any moment. When that happens, California will be split into Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah. The scientists also say that.
Yeah.
That means California no longer belongs to the US. I mean, connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They become Iceland. That's very dangerous. And when Master Sunqua in California, he said that since the day he made the vow that once I still here, I don't allow any earthquake happen. But actually, when he was in one time, it happened that when we were in Taiwan, there were a small quake in San Francisco in 1988.
He talked about that in one of his commentaries, and I didn't understand it, what he meant, because I didn't know he had said that he would keep earthquakes from happening.
Yeah,
Because he referred to a small earthquake happening while he was out of
that's how.
the country. Yeah, maybe that was the Surangama Sutra, his commentary on that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that means and not only him, right? Many anyone who do the translator, who are the translator doing the translation, this will help not only our area, but for the entire state, right? That means the earth spirit will be the one to protect us because they are the one who are guarding the protect the Buddha, the Dharma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they want to have blessing, of course, and they have to do that, right? So but you know what, not many nowadays, because the more technology advance, the more evil even greater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's scary nowadays. And the Master Songhua already predicted that many years ago. He said that in the future, we don't need to fight through the soldier. Everything go through the AI. Yeah. Now you see the unarmed vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
From, oh my goodness, crazy. They kill with our soldier on the route.
Mm-hmm.
And AI nowadays it very dangerous. Yeah, I will graduate from computer science, and I make I make about 3 areas I never step in. First one is I never work for military because I don't want to have a killing karma, right? Secondly, I never work for any game industry, educational game or whatever. No. Third, it's no AI. When I graduated in 1996, and that's the time I make the vow. And since then, I never step into those areas. Yeah, that oh boy, that's why any kind of translation or transmission of whatever the area is, and that area will be safe. And you know what? When we recite the sutra at home, right? At least our area, our home is very safe, right? And protected. And the surrounding, also the neighbor, right? They are very well protected too. For the entire village, right? That's important. Tammy, you have any question you want to ask?
No.
But that's why if we want to have the insight, responsive insight, we have to practice. Interesting. Okay. I remember when I came back to Vietnam, right, to do my father's funeral. In the beginning, I thought it will not, it will be a big problem because within my family, it's a lot of chaos. But you know what? Everything is peaceful. It come out beautiful, wonderful. more than my expectation. And
Nice.
everyone is happy. So it's not that's why when we are sincere, and especially when we sincere to take care of our parents, the blessing is beyond. And also we recite the sutra. That kind of blessing is well protected that we don't even know. But you know what? If you take a closer look, and you will see it, and you will be able to recognize all the good signs. Because maybe at the beginning we don't expect all the good signs like that, but when the good side came out, you say, "Oh wow, it's interesting." Anyway, that's right. That's really right. That means all the practice we put in, you don't see the result right away. But until when you in the condition of certain event, the practice become result, and you will see at that time. Yeah, and it's beautiful. So just like the master, right? He just have the incident. Oh, tell me, you know the master? He got the tree hit him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Luckily, he survived, right? And he not paralyzed and lie on bed. And that is what we don't want, right? Even the Venerable Magellan, he the foremost in psychic power. And at the end of his life, he died. The way he died, he was killed by the group of robbers. And terrified, right? In the terrified way, you see. But because of his practice, and that's why he be able to overcome with peace, right? Not with anger, not with resentment. And the same thing here, even though we try our best to practice, and when our karma, right, it hits us, instead of we have to pay for the big death, but we pay in the well, in the better environment instead of bad environment. Does it make sense, right? So this is important. So yeah, don't say that we are the monk and we practice, we will not pay for the karma. No, everyone pay for it. It doesn't matter, even the Buddha. So but when we pay, we instead of we pay in the full price, we pay with the discount price. Heavy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with the discount, right? Yeah, it's not easy.
I don't think you're gonna get as big of a laugh as you want out of Tammy.
What?
Good joke though.
Okay. Well, at least I'm very happy that yeah, he get recovery little by little. Yeah, that's a good thing. Of course, when he sits too long, it's not good for him. But beside that, everything else is okay, I think. And you went down and see him, right? I would plan to fly over after 1 week. He have accident, but master asked me to and he did not know that I booked the ticket. But he his sister-in-law have she have her aunt just passed away, and the master asked me to take care of the funeral here. I said okay, and that was the day after I fly on Monday, but that is Tuesday, so I have to cancel the ticket. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Whew, okay, all right. You want to do the 9 and 10 together? We finish this thing?
Okay, me?
Yeah.
9, a general explanation of the sutra's title. The 9th door is a general explanation of the sutra's title in which a summary analysis of the title of the sutra is presented. 10, detailed elucidation of the meaning of the text. The 10th door is a particular explanation of the text of the Great Means Expansive Buddha Flower Adornment Sutra. These 10 doors constitute the method employed by the Xianchao school in lecturing sutras. So if you go somewhere to listen to sutra lectures and you hear them discussing the 5 kinds of esoteric meanings, then they're lecturing sutras according to the Tiantai school, using its 5 teachings to lecture the sutra. The prologue now goes on to discuss the first door, the causes and conditions for the arisal of the teaching.
Yeah.
So the doors are then a lens that can be used to look at any sutra through,
Yeah.
and kind of explain and organize what's within it.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's the Xianshao school. Okay, you got the Xianshao and the Tiantai.
So that's the method they are using. So every time when we do the lecturing the sutra, we just go over to that method. Okay, all right. Let's stop right here. Let me share you the. Okay, all right, go ahead.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Oh, how your job? Everything is okay?
Yeah, I'm still working at Rainbow Blossom.